It's Tuesday, August 15th, 2017. I'm your host, Lynn Poyant. We have a great show for you today. First up, we'll chat with Chief of Police Paul McDonald. We'll learn more about a new van that will help the Senior Center's transportation program, and we'll check in with DPW Director Dan Santos. All of that and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. But first, let's take a look at today's top headlines. Barnstable lifeguards were once again called to a rescue late yesterday afternoon, 3 doors down from Coville's Beach at the Craigville Beach Association. A woman noticed something floating in the water, which she first thought was a buoy, then saw a bathing suit. But she notified lifeguards. Lifeguards administered CPR, and the Centerville, Osterville, Marston's Mills Fire Department responded. There is no update on the woman's condition at this time. We are grateful for the quick action of Will Britton, head lifeguard Haley Wyke, Kelly Alves, and beach supervisor Lauren Zent in this latest rescue. The Airport Commission hopes to approve the process to fill the airport manager's position upon vacancy. Airport manager Bud Brial informed the Commission of his plans to retire upon the completion of his current contract in February of 2018. The Airport Commission meets today at 4 p.m. in the airport conference room. Up next, we'll chat with Chief of Police Paul McDonald. Good morning. We are actually talking with Deputy Chief Matthew Sonnabend, and thank you so much for calling in today. You had a phenomenal day last Wednesday with Kids Day. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, we did. It was fantastic. It's always such a great event. Excellent community participation. Last year we had a little bit of an issue with the rain, so it kind of kept people away. I felt like people left early, and there really wasn't quite the turnout. But this year it seemed to really explode this year and make up for it. There was a ton of people, a lot of kids. We ended up running. We had the hugging Coke machine, which worked out fantastic. People loved that. Hugged all the Coke out of the machine. I couldn't believe it.
They did. I saw that sign.
Yep. We had plenty of hot dogs. You know, John's Dogs comes down, a fantastic event supporter, provides the food and cooks it all up. Well, cooks it all up for us, and plenty of ice cream went around early in the morning. Detective Kevin Connolly, I can't say enough. He's been organizing this event for, forever, and he does a fantastic job. We gave away bikes, we had towels, we had the fire departments came down and provided foam. They had a hose battle with the ball back and forth on the line, canine demonstrations. It was such an awesome event, and the kids really seemed to enjoy it. And obviously, one of the big hits was the dunk tank again this year.
I was going to say, the line for the dunk tank was incredible.
That never gets short,
That was awesome. It was like they were enjoying it a little bit too much.
Yeah, they do. They enjoy it. And, the guy, the officers and the firefighters, we really enjoy participating in it. It's an excellent opportunity just to have fun with the kids, and just to engage with them, and get there, be there with them for the day. It's excellent event. And
to see the kids get with the officers and know that they're friendly and that they're there to help and that they're part of the community, it really is a special day.
That's what it's all about,
Speaking of community, we had are coming off the 32nd annual Pops by the Sea concert this past Sunday.
Oh, yes, another excellent event. And I wanted to say thanks to Lieutenant Michael Clark. He's been organizing that recently since Lieutenant Cameron retired. Lieutenant Cameron organized it for several years, or helped organize it for several years, and now Lieutenant Michael Clark stepped in and helps organize the security and gets everything all set, make sure everybody's on post, and an excellent event. And the weather couldn't have been nicer. It was a little humid, but the weather couldn't have been nicer. It was an awesome day.
It was great. And we have a little competition heating up for next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Yep, word's getting out, I heard. As you know, having a local blood supply is vastly important to our local medical care facilities, and people who get injured might need some blood. You can't wait for blood, unfortunately. You got to have that on hand, and these days you really got to keep that stock up and running. And so Cape Cod Healthcare is teaming with us and with the Dennis Police Department, and we're going to have a little bit of a friendly competition to see who can collect the most blood at their blood drive on the 21st, which is next Monday. The Dennis PD is going to be hosting the blood collection van in their parking lot from 10 to 4. And on Tuesday, we're going to host the blood collection van in our parking lot at 1200 Finney's Lane from 10 to 4. And we're going to see who can, which community, because it's not just us, but which community can actually collect the most blood and get it donated to Cape Cod Healthcare. And I think it's an excellent chance for people to come out and give a little bit, literally give some blood for your community.
There you go. It's been a while since I've been able to give blood, so we'll see if I can't go down and.
I'll meet you down there. We'll both give some blood. How about that?
Sounds good. Side by side.
Side by side. Excellent.
And the last thing that we want to talk about today is the rescue that took place not at Colville's Beach, but near Colville's Beach at CBA yesterday afternoon. Yep.
The CBA, the beach association that sits between Craigville Beach and Colville's Beach, yesterday afternoon, late or early evening, there was a female or a lady that was in distress while swimming. It was noticed by a walker on the beach. Someone else on the beach happened to notice that this person was in distress and couldn't call for help themselves. And she alerted the town of Barnstable lifeguards that were actually working over at Colville's Beach. And they jumped into action. The three of them jumped into action and were able to bring that female to shore. And Fire Department, Centerville, Osterville, Marston Mills Fire Department, came to the scene, and they were able to revive the woman and transport her to the hospital. And right now, from all indications, she seems to be recovering from the incident. But as a reminder, we do live on the ocean. It's a fantastic place to be, but you have to keep in mind safety and everything at all times. And, thank God that we do have the lifeguards at the beaches who can jump in times of need. And I just wanted to say thank you very much for them to, jumping in and helping out. And not only that, but taking the initiative to undertake that profession and be there for others in their times of need.
That's great, thank you. And I just want to say that it was Will Britton, Haley Wyke, Kelly Alves, and Lauren Zent were the staff that were called into action.
Oh,
and,
excellent.
I think that they really deserve a plug for that. So
They
thank you so
absolutely
much.
do. Outstanding young people, and thank you very much for your help that day.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for calling in, Deputy Sonnabend. It was great talking to you. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. We'll have to schedule our time.
Well, it starts at 10, Lynn. Maybe we should just be there right at 10. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That was Deputy Chief Matthew Sonnabend. Coming up next, we have an interview with Barnstable Senior Services about their recently acquired new van from the Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority.
So Madeline, very exciting news here at the Barnstable Senior Center. You guys actually received a new van.
We did.
Tell me a little bit about the new van and where it came from.
So we're very excited. We have had the two vehicles that we currently have, the handicapped accessible vans, were leased through the Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority through a program where they lease vehicles to councils on aging so that we can offer transportation for our seniors in our respective communities. And both of the vehicles are getting up there in age now, and so we've, over the last couple of years, it's cost us a little more in terms of you know, repairs and maintenance to keep them roadworthy. We knew that we were up for replacement for one of the vehicles, and what happened was we got a call recently from the Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority to let us know that they had a new vehicle waiting for us. It's an 8-passenger Ford Aerolite vehicle, and it's brand new, and it's about a $50,000 vehicle that is provided to us through a lease. So we don't actually pay anything specifically, you know, for the lease. We're responsible for the just repairs and preventive maintenance costs. And so for us, it's wonderful because it means it's a brand new vehicle. Everybody gets excited. You know, all of our clients who use the transportation program, you know, really enjoy the service because it's able to help them maintain their independence. And we were very excited because the Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority actually held recently a press conference to talk about other initiatives that they have been offering for specifically senior transportation. They've really been trying to encourage older adults to use more public transport options, just you know, as an alternative to driving themselves. One of the things that they were introducing was free fare Wednesdays on their fixed route services, which means that anybody over 60 would be able to travel free. And also one of the other things that they announced, which was really good news for all of the councils on aging in the 15 towns on the Cape, was that for the first time, in addition to the leased vehicles, we were actually being given some direct funds to help defray transportation costs. And for Barnstable, what that means is we're going to be getting a grant of about somewhere around $5,400 from the Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority that we can use to help towards our transportation program. So that was just an extra bonus on top of getting the new vehicle.
I would think that your transportation program would be utilized a lot in our community. How many people, do you have numbers on how many people use the service?
Yeah, so we're required to report back to the CCRTA because of the program where the vehicle is leased to us. And also, as you know, in addition to our vans, we also have an electric vehicle, our Nissan Leaf, that was purchased, well, the lease was paid for by the Friends of the Barnstable Council on Aging, and we do keep very accurate reports on the usage. We typically do between 5,000 and 6,000 rides, one-way trips a year, and we have somewhere typically between 120 and 160 individual seniors that utilize the program. It changes a little bit year to year, as you know, but a lot of the seniors that use the program are clients that come to our supportive day program at the senior centre, so they require transportation in order to get here. But we are also providing rides to seniors that can no longer drive, that don't have a family member that can provide transportation to them. They don't have the financial means to be able to pay for, you know, a taxi or pay for private transportation. And so what our transportation program is doing is really helping provide low-cost, reliable, safe service to them, you know, to get to the destinations they need to be able to maintain their independence and stay at home. So
it's so important for that, for them to have the independence that they need. How would someone, if someone's listening and maybe didn't know about the transportation program, how would they find out if they're eligible or learn more about it?
All right, so what we recommend people do is give us a call. They can reach Judy Red is our transportation coordinator, and they can reach her directly at 508-862-4752. And we schedule rides on a first come, first served basis. So we do have, we ask for as much notice in advance as possible. Typically in the morning, early in the morning and later in the afternoon, we are bringing the clients to our day program, and then the afternoon bringing them home. So for rides to appointments, medical appointments in the grocery store, the bank, that kind of thing, we typically reserve, it's from like 10 to 2 or so. And so Judy will talk people through the whole process. We are very proud of this Silver Express transportation program and the volunteer drivers that give so much of their time to help us keep our seniors at home independent. And so we do ask for a suggested donation. It's $5 round trip, which is really reasonable considering the cost that it is to run the program, and all the donations that we receive go back into the program. And I should mention that we also receive funding from Elder Services of Cape Cod and the Islands through a federal grant through the Older Americans Act that also helps us offset some of our costs. Transportation is an expensive program to run, but we're committed to it because we know that so many of our seniors, to help keep them in our community and to help them age in place, they really do rely. And as I said earlier, it's a lifeline for people, because without transportation they would be extremely isolated and unable to maintain their health and independence.
Yeah, absolutely. A vital program.
Absolutely.
Well, if you will, let's go check out the van.
Sure.
So Judy, tell me a little bit about the van.
Well, as Madeline already explained, we just got this brand new van. We've had it about 3 weeks. We've got about 1,200 miles on it already.
Wow.
So I was driving all day this week. One day I put in 137 miles on the van.
That's a lot around here, especially.
Yes.
It must be a vital service for so many.
Yes, it is. We take people grocery shopping, to doctor's appointments. We have, as Madeline said, we have our adult supported day program. We pick up in the morning between 8 and 10, and then we have in the afternoon at between 2:15 and 4 o'clock we take people home.
And the van, of course, handicap accessible?
Yes, we have the ramp here that you can show, and we take wheelchairs, walkers. People who can't do the stairs can go on the lift, stand on it, and walk into the van.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did passengers notice a difference when you started using the new van?
Yes, they did.
Did they say anything about the comfort level?
Yes, the seats are wonderful. They're nice and padded. They're not hard like some of our first vans were, and they're really comfortable to sit in. And because it's quieter, because all the nuts and bolts haven't gotten loose yet, so so it doesn't squeak and make noises as much. It's a little bit good on the suspension, so they do notice all that it's a much better running machine.
Anything else you want to point out about the van?
Well, it is only 8 passengers. We used to have 10, and so we have to be a little careful when we schedule who's going on the van. We don't usually have any problem with going grocery shopping or going to doctor's appointments and things, because we don't have as many people on at one time. The adult supported day program has increased, and we do use the Leaf, and then we use this at the same time to bring everybody in.
Wonderful. And that Leaf, you guys have really put that to use. How often do you use the Leaf?
Every day.
Really?
Yes, we do. We can do about 80 miles a day on it. So what happens is the morning it runs from about 8:30 until about 12:30. Then we come back, we hook it up to our charger again, let it charge for a couple of hours, and then we can have, in the afternoon, we can do another run with it.
Pretty amazing that you don't need to put gas in it too, right?
I know it.
Saves a little money there.
And we have our free solar over here. So that runs right into the senior center and right back out to the charger.
Wow.
So
talk about efficient.
Yes.
And cost effective.
Well, we went from about $800 a month on fuel down to about $350. with
Wow.
using one van.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a big savings.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
showing us the van
Yeah.
and telling us all about the Silver Express. We really
Okay.
appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
And now we are speaking with DPW Director Dan Santos. Good morning, Dan. How are you today?
Good morning. Doing very well. How are you?
Very well, thank you. So there's a lot that happens during the summer months that DPW takes care of, but now we're going to be switching. It's a transitional time of the year for you. Can you tell us what's going on around DPW?
Absolutely. We always have a variety of things throughout the year, and they're usually very seasonal in nature, and they're very good at getting to these things. But now, with Labor Day just a few weeks away, we have to start thinking about how we start shutting down some of our summer facilities, and so that involves the beaches and the marinas, and we start thinking about our planning for when we shut down the bathhouses and restrooms, and what kind of maintenance that we're going to approach at those locations in the off season. So we're doing a lot of inspection and making checklists so we can plan our work over the winter. That's also the case for the marinas where we pull the floats. We don't do that until the end of October, early November, but we have to make the plan for doing that and arrange for the contractor that helps us do that. So we're working on that. We start thinking about all the flower beds that we have around town that we maintain throughout the summer, cleaning those up and doing fall cleanup with our grounds crews, which is a significant amount of our work in the fall. Another thing we're doing really right now this time of year, because of hurricane season, which starts in June, North Atlantic hurricane season, is we're constantly thinking about planning, doing some drills and exercises in case we have a hurricane that comes to the Cape. Now, we haven't had that in quite some time, and some would say we're due, but we always have to be ready because these storms can pop up and within a matter of a few days be on us. So we have to be ready to protect the town's assets and respond in the case of a hurricane. So that's something we spend time doing in the summer.
I have to say that last year you invited me to participate in a drill program that your assistant director, Rob Steen, had coordinated, and that was a fabulous exercise. It was to have everyone at the table at the same time and talking about their different roles and how they, going through the timeline of what a storm and the kind of notification you receive. It was a great experience.
Yeah, it's very important to practice and exercise, and you know this from police and fire departments spend a good part of the year doing this, constantly going through scenarios so that when you have to respond, it's really second nature, and you're not trying to think while something's happening about what to do. You already know what to do next, so it's part of what we do as well.
Right. And I know that experience from what our lifeguards go through on a regular basis, the constant drilling, and unfortunately it's been put to the test a number of times this summer.
Yes.
But without that, we wouldn't be as prepared to handle those situations when they arise.
Absolutely.
Great.
And then in the fall, we top that off with our fall roads program and paving and putting drainage systems in, and that work goes on throughout town. And one we'll be doing pretty well. Actually, one we're working on right now is a high school road extension. We're doing that in the summer because the schools are there, and we don't want to do that in the fall and affect people getting to and from the schools.
Right, and we pass by it every day on our way to Town Hall, and it looks like the work is getting ready to end.
Yes.
Just in time for the start of school.
Yeah, they've got the base coat down, and the curbs are all in, the drainage, so I think they just need to put the finish coat down, and we'll be in good shape.
Great. Well, I know that you are a tremendous help to the staff of the Community Services Department with the beaches, the marinas, and everything else. So thank you to you and all of your crews. And I have to say that your grounds crew, led by Chris Ganella, has done a phenomenal job with, I know from my experience, the JFK Memorial and everywhere throughout town. So thanks to your crew.
Yeah, thank you. They take a lot of pride in their work.
Thank you. We'll talk to you next week, Dan.
Okay, thanks.
That was Dan Santos, DPW Director. Now let's find out what's happening in today's community calendar. Did you ever want to learn how to shellfish? There will be a clamming class for everyone interested in learning more, hosted by Barnstable Natural Resource Program on Wednesday, August 16th at 12:30 p.m. at the Bridge Street Landing in Osterville. If you have questions or want more information, call Natural Resources Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:15 p.m. at 508-790-6272 or email Amy Croteau. Cape Harmony's final performance at the Cotuit Federated Church will take place on Wednesday, August 16th at 7:30 p.m. Make sure to catch the classic Cape Cod Summer Experience with their last performance before they leave. Here's a look at this week's Board, Committee, and Commission's meeting schedule. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow with another great show. We will talk with Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce Chief Executive Officer Wendy Northcross, Centerville Osterville Marston's Mills Fire Chief Michael Wynn, and Airport Manager Bud Brialt. For Barnstable Today, I'm Lynn Poyant.